We are 8 weeks through the college football season, and there's a clear number one team in the country, and of course, that is your top-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. What's unclear, however, is the Heisman Trophy race. Now, normally, at this point in the season, getting towards the end of the stretch of the regular season, the guy running the race right now in the leaderboard for the Heisman is the best player on the best team. Now, of course, that is not happening right now because if it were, then the guy leading the race would be Georgia linebacker Nakobi Dean. He's the leader of this Georgia defense, maybe the best defense we've seen in a decade plus. He has done everything he possibly can this year. And in my opinion, in a year of college football where no one is really standing out, right? Bryce Young is having a good season. Matt Corral was having a solid season earlier. You got Kenneth Walker III at Michigan State, who's really coming on. He might be the guy leading right now after his performance against Michigan. But after watching what Nakobi Dean did against Florida, what he did against Auburn, in Kentucky, Arkansas, in the biggest games, the biggest moments, Nakobi Dean is out there making plays. Of course, the Heisman Trophy does not go to the best player in college football. That would be silly, right? It goes to the best offensive player, usually on the best team, or the most productive player on the best offense in the country or on the best team. So he's not going to have the numbers, and be honest, he's not going to win the Heisman Trophy. I know the comment section might blow up, this is a dumb topic, whatever, but if we're talking about the best players in college football, Nakobi Dean has to be up there. Again, he's not going to win the award. He definitely doesn't have the numbers, even though he is having a monster season. He only has 37 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and of course one of them was last week against Florida, 50-yard touchdown that essentially ended the game against the arch-rival Florida Gators. Those plays have to matter, right? Those are important, and that was a Heisman Trophy play that he made. But when you look at the numbers real quick, it's easy to see why he only has 37 tackles. He's playing with a lot of other elite defenders around him who are also making plays, and it's tough to rack up a lot of numbers when half the time you're out there, it's for 3 plays and then you're back on the sideline. So I get why the numbers aren't there, but talk about leadership, talent, making critical plays in big moments and big games. Nakobi Dean has to be up there. The first play that stands out was, of course, against Auburn. Georgia's down 3-0 early in the game, and he makes an incredible athletic diving interception in Auburn's own territory early in the possession, and that changed the ball game. Auburn actually had a little bit of momentum that first half of the first quarter, but when he made that big play, the deflection off the running back, he dives out to make the play. Georgia ends up getting a field goal. They tie the game and kind of go on from there. So he is making a lot of plays, and no, he's not Bryce Young. He's not a quarterback. He's not a running back, but hopefully one day I would like to see an era of college football where the best player gets an award. And I know we talked about Jordan Davis a little bit, maybe the most physical, disastrous, scariest offensive or defensive lineman in the country, but the guy only plays barely 50%. I think it's less than that, probably around 40. I don't know the numbers after this Florida game, but Nakobi Dean's the guy out there calling the plays, out there in the middle of the defense, sideline to sideline, giving it his all each and every play, 100%. And I do think he, could be the best player on Georgia's roster. I mean, when you think about it, I think you could absolutely make a case for that. Jordan Davis, yes, he's really, really good. Trayvon Walker, outstanding. Jalen Carter, these are only guys on defense, by the way. A healthy JT Daniels could be the best player on the team if he plays the way we all kind of expect him to when he's healthy. I think a healthy George Pickens could be the best player on the team, but right now I would give the nod to Nakobi Dean. And if we're talking about the best players in college football being recognized for it, Nakobi Dean should be there. That play against Kentucky that he made, I think in the fourth quarter or right before the fourth quarter, where he sniffs out the screen from a mile away, gets by 3 defenders, makes the play in the backfield. I don't know if there's a single defender in college football who makes that play right there. I think he's the best linebacker in the country. He's playing like it right now. And it seems like when the ball's near him, he makes a play on it, and he's always near the football because he has elite instincts. And you saw it against Florida, sniffing out that long pass, and again he showed the speed, the athleticism, the hands, the playmaking ability. The guy's doing it all right now. He's a tackling machine, and again he made the big play against Kentucky that I'm not sure a lot of linebackers make. He makes a big catch, an interception in coverage against Florida, which ended the game. and he made the play against Auburn to kind of slow down the momentum that the Tigers kind of had at that moment early in the game. So there's a few games left. I think he'd be able to rack up a ton of tackles if this was the old Georgia Tech that they're playing against and that triple option. He'd be able to get 15. But there's no one you'd rather have try to come in after Roquan Smith or Monty Rice, who had 7 tackles for the Titans. Listen, Georgia's linebacker you right now, and they have been for the past 5 or 6 years. If you don't see it, you haven't been paying attention. Nakobi Dean is that next guy. He doesn't have ideal size, which might be the only reason he does not get picked in the first round next year, but he is as impactful as it gets. He lines up the guys in the best defense in the country. He's leading the best group in college football. He needs to be recognized for it, and not just with a Butkus Award or a Bednardic Award or whatever defensive award, All-American, status you could give him. No, the Heisman Trophy should be going to the best player in college football, and I think Nakobi Dean at least has to be in the conversation. He's not even near the conversation. No one's even talking about it. But if we're talking about the best player on the best team, he has to be, have recognition, and he's arguably the best defender in all of college football. I know Kayvon Thibodeau is an absolute monster, but Nakobi Dean does something different. He's in the middle of the field doing absolutely everything. He could not be playing any better. And I kind of wanted this time in this video to show him the recognition that he deserves. Of course, I drove all the way out there to watch him commit and sign with Georgia. I drove all the way to Memphis for that. So, I think he's a great player. Always have thought he was a great player. And he's making me look smart. He's making all the experts look smart. He has earned all of his 5 stars. Not everyone's doing that lately, but everyone on this defense sure is. Kirby recruits, he went out and got Nakobi Dean for a reason. I know multiple SEC coaches who thought a lot of this guy and did not like the fact that he was going to Georgia to replace guys like Roquan Smith and Monty Rice and others at the linebacker spot. He's the best of the best right now doing it, and I think he deserves to be recognized and at least get a trip to New York City when all is said and done, if no one really steps up and runs away with this thing. Give it to a defender. This could be the year to do it. And I think Nakobi Dean deserves it. Guys, thank you for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on the website.